With none hands, our capable city clerk, Ms. Lisa Lambert.
This is a pre-meeting of the Mobile City Council Wednesday, February 22nd. We have approval of minutes from February 14th.
It's good.
Appeals, we have requests for waive the noise ordinance on March 19th from 12 p.m. until 2 p.m. in Figures Park, March 11th from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. And this is the chili cook-off on Canal Street, Broad and Washington Streets. April the 9th from 6:30 a.m. until 7:45 a.m. in Cooper Riverside Park. March 19th from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m. in Medal of Honor Park. April 15th from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. in Medal of Honor Park.
Everybody good?
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Michael Crawford, request for upgrades and repairs to Summerlin Drive.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
I had the opportunity to talk to Mr. Crawford. I wanted to see the city position. He was speaking about speed bumps. Have we done that recently or anytime, or what our positions on slowing down?
I'll get you the city policy.
Okay.
Rapid calling devices and how we kind of proceed with it. It takes somewhat of a consensus of the people that are affected by it.
Okay.
But I'll send you the policy.
Okay. Thank you.
There's city funding for that. I had to allocate my own funding in my CIP to get that done. There's also no, it's a material issue as well. So it's a couple of things. I put a $200,000 allocation in from my district CIP because this was an issue for me. Like they're saying, you've got to get like 75% of the community that agrees to do it of the impacted area. But then it's a cost. Every one of those strips costs like $7,500. And then you need a series of those in order to really get after the speed issue. So it's a planning and organization type thing. We can talk offline. I want to take up everybody's time, but it is a process. I've been working this for about the last 8 to 10 months with one community, and we're still basically at the design stage. But there's also not a lot of companies that deal with these speed bumps and stuff. And if we could all go in together, I think it would help because we'd have a larger order. But just an order for me is hard for the city to get the materials for that. So it's something that I'd be more than happy to have a discussion on.
Thomas Mitchell, abuse of power by city officials in city business. Ryan McMillan, abuse of power by city officials in city business. Calvin Martin, people racing cars in his neighborhood and the drug problem in Mobile. Darlene Martin, people, same thing. Reggie Hill.
These are going to be more than likely talk about Peppermill Road and the drag strip we've had out there for a while. I mean, we've been battling that now for years, right? That's it. Just want to make sure that the administration and the police department and everybody else, I mean, this is an ongoing thing. They moved from Peckenville Road to another quarter-mile strip somewhere in the city. That little scanner says that we're coming, they jump and run somewhere else. It's been an ongoing issue for a long time.
Whack-a-mole.
So-
Same thing in my district.
I was reading that. So the address, that's not for the because it said Cross Street. So it's not.
Well, they live on Cross Street. That's Darlene Martin, Ike Dickens' daughter at Cross and Edward Street, Plateau.
Okay.
African right there.
Reggie Hill, abuse of power as it relates to citizen involvement in taxpayer resource spending. Ordinance is held over. 09007. Ordinance repealing Chapter 28, Article 6 of the Mobile City Code and dissolving the Blue Ribbon Affordable Housing Neighborhood Revitalization Commission. 09008 and 009010 are ordinances dissolving the Citizens Advisory Committee on Contracting Opportunities with Small Business and Minority-Owned Firms, dissolving the City of Mobile Citizens Budget and Finance Advisory Committee, dissolving the Public Transit Advisory Committee. Consent resolutions held over 37-170. Recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail beer, table wine, off-premises only license for Family Dollar Store on Dolphin Island Parkway.
I'm gonna ask the council, let me hold this over for one more week here, please.
Resolutions held over 08-188, approved purchase orders for fuel for various city departments. 08-189, approved purchase order to Sun South LLC for John Deere tractor and Alamo Machete for Parks and Recreation Department. 08-190, approved purchase order to University of South Alabama for a spring 2023 EMT certification course for Mobile Fire and Rescue Department. 08-191, approved purchase order to Carrier Corporation for a cooling tower for the Civic Center. 08-192, approved purchase order to Stivers Ford Lincoln Inc. for Ford Explorer. 08-193, approved purchase order to Stivers Ford for Ford F-150 pickup truck. 08-194, approved purchase order to software vendor for annual forensic software renewal for MPD Cyber Division. 08-195, approved purchase order to software vendor for annual software renewal for forensic software. 21-196, authorized contract with American Tennis Courts for pickleball and tennis courts improvements at James Sills Jr. Park. 25-197, grant permanent and temporary easements to the Mobile Area Water and Sewer System for Slava Creek trunk sewer upgrades. 40-198, authorize the sale of city-owned property located at 720 Museum Drive, not now needed for public or municipal purposes. 50-199, approved tax increment financing District 2. Consent resolutions being introduced. 03203, appoint Hunter Whitten to the Citizens Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. 09204, transfer funds from General Fund District 7 discretionary Parks and Recreation revenue account for Hillsdale Recreation Center annual Mardi Gras Parade. 09205, transfer funds from General Fund District 7 discretionary account to Parks and Recreation revenue account to Serve It Up with Love Tennis Tournament. 58-206, 207, and 208 are assessing costs for removal of weeds, weedling groups 1633, 1638, and Group 57. 60-209 and 210 are approving award a special bonus to the Officer of the Month and to the Firefighter of the Month. 60-211, determine an appropriation to Bienville Souvenir and Gifts serves a public purpose and approve payment. CIP resolutions being introduced. 21-212, authorized contract with Michael Baker International for Woodcock Creek West Branch drainage improvements, $190,843.15. Resolutions being introduced. 08213, approved purchase order to Gray Bar Electric for LED street light fixtures, $27,481.
Mr. President,
Yeah, Mr. Jones.
yeah, I got a question for the administration on this one. I think this was for the purchase of 50 lights to upgrade some street lights. How do we come up with 50 and how are we prioritizing these? Where are they going? Is 50 the right number? I mean, do we need 100? Do we need 300? I'm just trying to figure out how do we get here? What's driving it?
These lights are stock for elsewhere in the city. The price was going up, so they just wanted to order it before the contract expired.
Is this enough?
This is all the money they gave us on requisition to do, is all we know.
Attic stock.
Okay. All right. So, and let me ask this question, because this is something that I've had come up for about the last month in different neighborhoods. I guess some of our neighborhoods are serviced by Alabama Power and some are serviced by the city. But if Alabama Power goes into a neighborhood and upgrades their lights to LED, I guess there's an agreement and a process that they partner with the city to do that. How does that work? And if another neighborhood wants to do that, what does that process look like?
Probably a longer conversation than for just here, but yeah, it's really with Jennifer and Doug and electrical. I think all of the Alabama Power owned fixtures have been upgraded and been replaced. And you do have a mix of situations where the city owns the light, pole, and fixture, and then you got places where probably some of the newer subdivisions have leased facilities. But it's a longer conversation. I want to say there's north of 10,000 light fixtures, so it's a big number of them. And these are probably and most likely just inventory. What they try to do, I can tell you this, is like say for instance, Airport Boulevard or Dolphin Street. When they upgrade all of them, they try to take down the whole thing at one time. It's kind of like if your house, if you go in there or here, if you just replace one light bulb, you're constantly coming around and replacing them. But those end up being, several $100,000 projects that have, in the case of the airport, in the case of the interstate, a couple $1 million projects, so that you've got some reliability so that they're all replaced at one time. Yeah. Well, I know, but I'm just saying that's why I say let's have a longer conversation offline, because it's got layers to it.
08214, approved purchase order to CDW Government for Apple iPad mini tablets for Public Services Department, $16,539.36. 09215, reallocate funds from capital projects, stormwater, miscellaneous bridge improvements, Alabama Municipal Trust Fund to capital project, Pinto Pass Bridge Settlement, ALDOT. 21216, authorized contract with Pierre Hall to provide tennis lessons for Parks and Recreation Department, $80,000 per year. 21217, authorized consultant contract with the Architects Group for kitchen flooring replacement at the Arthur R. Outlaw Convention Center, $16,330. 21218, authorized contract with Cummings Architecture Corp. For design services of bathroom and elevator renovations at the Arthur R. Outlaw Convention Center, $28,460. 31219, authorize a grant application to South Alabama Regional Planning Commission for the Enhanced Mobility for Seniors and Individuals with Disabilities Grant, $360,000. 6220, authorized settlement agreement and release of claims. Announcements.
Council? Mr. Jones?
One question. I know we're working on the validation for the annexation. Can you give us an update on where we are with that and what that timeline looks like?
So we're meeting this afternoon with finance. I'm meeting with finance this afternoon to go through the checklist of questions that PFM asked. And so we've got a meeting tomorrow afternoon with PFM to see how that list is and whether there's any more information that they need from us. So they've sent just a litany of different questions about the annexation, expenses, revenues, and we're trying to cobble all that together and get it to them.
So what would you say, I know we don't have a hard timeline, but what could you guess is what that timeline looks like to finalize this based off of the questions you sent?
I would say that we should, by mid-March, have a presentation by PFM. I'll know more tomorrow and see if there's any more questions that they're asking or any more information that they need us to provide. I know that they've asked questions like population estimates, there's just a myriad of different questions that they're asking us. And so until we get through all those questions, I'll know a lot more tomorrow afternoon.
Bennett, this was a council requested action. I think I've sent you a notice or request before for access to PFM, the questions that were being asked by them so that we could see it ourselves. Could you please send those questions?
I'll send you an electronic copy. I gave you a hard copy when you came to my office.
I never walked out with it.
You left it there? Okay.
I don't think you ever gave it to me. We talked about it. You said you would get it for me, but we didn't get it. What I left with was the information that you and I've talked about in the past about financials and things like that for the 4 areas, but we never did do a transaction of the questions that were actually being asked by PFM.
Okay. I mean, I'll send it to all the city councils, so all type of questions they're
But
asking.
also, if you can, let me know where that information is coming from, if they're collecting it themselves or if we're just giving them data. Because also by the resolution, they're supposed to actually get it directly and collect it directly from the department themselves.
They're going direct with the departments. So we've made the staff available, and a lot of the data is city data, right? Like revenues from the area, so they're having to get it from us. But we made all the staff available to them.
And one final comment, and I know there's a lot of folks from Public Works and stuff here that won't be downstairs at 10:30, but I just want to say thank you for all the hard work over the last couple of weeks. Y'all just knocked it out of the park. And we had some huge crowds downtown. And I think you couldn't have asked for a better Mardi Gras season for Mobile. I heard nothing but positive comments from folks internationally that were here, nationally. Job well done. Thank you.
And also to the public safety,
Yeah,
police
police
department and the fire
Yeah.
department. Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday was a big undertaking with the Mammoth Parade or Mamgus Parade. We actually had, or they actually had a float to break down. We scrambled and found a way to get the float back into the parade, which was an excellent thing because the individuals that had the float were all the way from California. You know, I think it was 15, 20 people from California on the float. That's a big expense, not be part of a parade. And I commend you guys for getting them back in. Also on securing the street at Conception and Church on that turn in an instant to make sure we could keep the parade rolling. That was pretty awesome. But the best part of it is that we had no major incidents, none. And that's a lot to say about our city. Great job, y'all.
Prayer works.
Oh.
Y'all talking about, I'll give you a little more information given to me by Director Batiste. But y'all are exactly right. Our police and fire rescue and public service and public works guys, they did an amazing job this morning coming in about 7:20 or so. The public works guys, they're stacking up all the barricades, loading them back up. And I stopped to speak to them, to thank them, and you could tell how exhausted they are. So if you get an opportunity to be out when you leave city council meeting, whatever, you find some, go tell them how much you appreciate them because it is amazing what they've done. But regarding the safety of the this past Mardi Gras season, our numbers show that we had 1,092,000 people visit the parades. During that, we only had 18 misdemeanor arrests, and that's 18 misdemeanor arrests over 19 days of parades, which is pretty amazing. And then there were 2 misdemeanor juvenile arrests, but there were no violent crimes. And we did tow a few cars, and we did give a few, and we did give a few parking tickets. We'll see how that sorts itself out. But it does make me think about, especially on Conti Street, I think that's one that's kind of stays in contention about when can you park on Conti. But anyway, we've made some notes to see if, even though there are a lot of signs up there, 2 hours before and after the parade and all, I think that we need to kind of rethink some of it because I believe there's a way not to cause so much grief for these people that we're towing their cars off for. But anyway, all in all, a magnificent Mardi Gras cooperation by everybody. So thank everybody. Appreciate you.
All right. Anything else in one? If not, we'll see each other at 10:30.
Yeah, we do. So, it's still underneath the underpass down there.